Well, you guys, I was doing my show and this just dropped, so I had to stop everything and cover it, of course. Oh boy, we've got a Mr. Bart Carlson out of Salt Lake City suing Miss Lisa Barlow's two companies, her Vida Tequila and her luxury one. I'll get to that in a minute. This is funny because I kind of wonder, this guy gave Lisa Barlow a bunch of money in 2010 to support Vida Tequila and all this. I really wonder if this was the man she had an affair with. Just saying, because that's what the cast was saying all along, was that she slept with someone for money for the company, but there was no sort of origin story around this. So it was kind of died on the vine as like a big rumor, but it sounds like it could be this guy Bart. Who knows? All right, let's take a look at what came out in TMZ. I haven't gotten my hands on the complaint yet. I'm dying. If anybody has it, send it to me. You know who you are, my reality star sleuth friends. Somebody from Salt Lake, send it to me. I want to cover it in more detail. All right, but for now, we'll start with this. So TMZ reports Lisa Barlow and two companies she's associated with, including her tequila brand, are facing a lawsuit that alleges more than $400,000 was loaned out but never paid back. The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City star Vida Tequila and Lux Marketing are all named defendants in a lawsuit brought by a guy named Bart Carlson. Who claims he's a longtime personal friend of Lisa over loans he says he made to her starting over a decade ago. Ooh, personal friend, wink, wink. Whitney Rose has been hard at work. Whitney, send me the complaint. The way Carlson tells it, Lisa came to him in 2010 and told him she and her businesses were experiencing financial hardship and she needed lots of cash to cover the expenses. Carlson claims he agreed to give Lisa the money but didn't specify a time period for repayment because of his longtime friendship with Barlow. Gotta love those longtime friendships. Oh, this is so good. Over the next several years, beginning in May of 2010 through February 2018, he says, Carlson alleges he loaned Barlow, Vida, and Lux a total of $410,842.36. Money, he says, he asked for several times over the last few years without any repayment. He says every time he asked for the money, Barlow has allegedly responded by basically saying there's no way for her or her companies to pay him back, and now he wants some help from a judge to get what he claims he's owed. Oh, the relationship must have soured. You know why it soured? Because Lisa Barlow became famous, and suddenly her relationship with her husband and family became public domain. And if she had exaggerated or said anything to people about that world, they now saw it for what it was, which seemed pretty nice and happy and perfect. And in addition to that, she seems to have a luxury lifestyle on that show, and she makes a damn good paycheck by now. It's, I think, her, fifth season. So she's probably topping a few $100K, and she's about to go into the next tier, which is like bigger bucks, like $500,000, stuff like that, if the show's doing really well with advertisers. So he's like, where's my dough, lady? And you seem like you're doing just fine with your husband. So have him cough it up too while you're at it. Okay, the following are for my deep dive people. I'm going to share a bonus audio, a portion of it, from September 14th, 2021. This is a very early one. I do a deep dive of the investors in Lisa Barlow's company. Bart is not mentioned, oddly, but I take you through the details of her bio and John's bio from back before Real Housewives of Salt Lake City was known, and also their SEC filing on their tequila company and their lenders, and a lot of tea is in this. Also about her relationship with the Mormon Church. I don't normally spread this type of tea out here, but given the lawsuit, I thought I'd throw Bart a bone. He might benefit from this. So if you don't like deep dives, you can end the video now. If you want to hear like everything you've ever wanted to know about Vida Tequila, keep listening. I'm going to play it for you now. Well, first of all, I wanted to start out with Lisa Barlow because Lisa Barlow, of course, is touting her Vida Tequila on episode 1, like all throughout. She has it like as a gift when she goes over and sees Jen Shah. She has it as a gift to Jenny when she goes to see Jenny, at her house and learns about her migration to America and all that. And so this got me thinking about Vida Tequila and her brand. And so I did a little bit of a deep dive on it, and I wanted to share some things I found out, which I think you'll find interesting. So first of all, there's a tequila company called SUED Tequila. And SUED is Lisa Barlow and John Barlow's tequila company, and they've had this one for several years. And it would appear from studying SUED that they are basically just like kind of pumping out tequila brands. And they have all, I'll tell you how I know this in a minute, but I'm just going to tell you the big picture stuff first. It appears that Lisa and John have some manufacturer who does their tequila, and they have one supplier of tequila. And it would appear that they basically just keep coming up with tequila brands and then having the same manufacturer make the tequila. Now, maybe they make slight alterations to the formula, but they have like I guess, kind of like I want to say like a cookie cutter, make a company in tequila method that they have going on. And so Vida Tequila, I don't think I'm going too far on a limb to say is probably made by the same manufacturer as SUED Tequila. And I'll say where I get this from in a second. But it's really, really interesting. They also all have the same distribution, which is Total Wine. So it seems like what Lisa does is John, makes a deal with this one tequila provider in Mexico. And then Lisa Barlow comes up with packaging that is unique to it and, uses her luxury branding skill set to come up with the packaging. And then they quickly pull it together. Maybe even their contact who does the manufacturing of tequila has those relationships in Mexico. And they quickly pull together a new name, a bottle, and tequila. And they then call up Total Wine, and they basically get a quick distribution deal with them to get it out there. And maybe they've done this several times. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Vida Tequila is actually between $36 and $50. And SUED Tequila is $50 plus starting. So it's obviously meant to be a more premium tequila for them. The branding, the bottles are very different, but the branding of their websites is almost the same. It has the exact same vibe. So I'm going to bet that they use the same web company, probably designer, to do both sites and just said like branded the same as like the other ones, like the sophisticated look, clean. So anyway, where did I get this information and what made me think about all this? Well, I was sent an SEC document that was filed, which you guys might find interesting, in 2018. And it goes through and it talks about SUED Tequila because they have to, I guess, they were doing an offering. And so they had to file a form with the SEC in order to do this offering at SUED. I mean, it seems really strange to me that this very small tequila company would be doing an offering, but I don't know. It's Utah. So like people, I think, do lots of strange things in Utah. I'm just going to say that. But so it says on it that the name of the issuer is Jack Henry Spirits, LLC. And that company is out of Utah, and its organization date was October 13th, 2015. And the address of Jack Henry Spirits LLC is 1802 South Jordan Parkway, 200 South Jordan, Utah, 84095. And tequilasiudad.com is the website for that company. So this must be John and Lisa's company that they pump out their alcohol brands through. And then it goes on and it says that there is only 2 employees in the company, and the 2 employees are Lisa and John Barlow. It says that the target number of securities being offered is 25,000 at a $1 price. The target offering amount is 25,000. Oh yes, we love that number. Why does that keep coming up in my life? And they do allow for oversubscription, and the maximum offering amount is 107,000. And the deadline for this target amount was April 1st of 2019. So anyway, we go on. There's other interesting things. So it goes on to do its 2017 and 2018 numbers, okay, for this SUED tequila. And it shows that the total assets in 2017 are $108,814 in this particular, I guess, company, SUED, I guess. And in 2018, it goes up slightly to $127,984. It has a negative net income of $16,876.87 in 2018. So it loses 16 grand. It also has some short-term debt, which I will tell you about. Its gross revenue is in 2017 $254,812, and it's and then it actually tanks a lot in 2018. It goes to $148,116. Okay. So their company, Jack Henry Spirits LLC, is announcing this Tequila SUED looking for $107,000. And so it says they filed this amendment to its Form C, which was filed with the Securities Exchange Commission on January 29, 2019. This amendment is filed to change the offering deadline to April 1st, 2019, and update the escrow agent bank trust. So when you receive money in this kind of a raise, you have to put it in an escrow account because it's regulated. And so they're just, I guess they found that person and they're updating this note for it. But anyway, there's other kind of interesting, juicy stuff in here. Okay, so it says that Jack Henry Spirits LLC, the company, is a Utah limited liability company formed on October 13, 2015. The company is currently conducting business under the name of Tequila SUED. Ooh, I found something juicy. So the way that they got their Total Wine distribution is through Deutsch Family Wine and Spirits, which then sells it on to Total Wine and More. So even their distribution is like cookie cutter for their tequila. Now, Vida Tequila existed before SUED. So it would appear that John Barlow and Lisa Barlow had Vida first, and then they just launched the SUED brand using all the same kind of stuff that they put in place with Vida Tequila. So now they could just like pump out tequila brands as they, want. Now, Lisa Barlow's resume is in here, and I really want to share that with you. And there's also a biography, which is got even more stuff in it. So I just bear with me on this. So it shows that Lisa Barlow was a member of this company from 2015 to present. And that this company being Jack Henry Spirits, which SUED is in, and that she did all the business management, marketing, branding, label and bottle creation, social media management, relationship management, inventory management, and store staff trainings. She also did Vida Tequila in her resume from October 2006 to present. She did all the same stuff with that, except in-store training. And then she had Lux Marketing from August of 2009 to present, which obviously came out of Vida Tequila because Vida existed before Lux Marketing. So when you go to John Barlow's resume, which is also broken down, it shows that he exactly mirrors her in every way, except he is doing billing and doing, I guess, more of the inventory management and sales distribution components and sampling. And he's handling more of the store staff trainings in the beginning, and then she kind of takes it over. Now, there's a section where they actually have a bio written out on John Barlow and Lisa, and I want to read it to you because it's kind of not what you'd expect. So John Barlow, it says, co-founder and owner. In addition to Jack Henry Spirits, John also co-founded and co-owns Vida Tequila. He has more than 15 years of experience in the wine and spirit market. John has extensive sales and distribution background spanning multiple industries, including wine and spirits, software, manufacturing. John was also successful in developing a large sales channel in the RV industry for an upstart hitch manufacturing company. That's random. Lisa Barlow, co-founder and owner. This is hers. In addition to Jack Henry Spirits, Lisa is the owner of multiple companies, including Vida Tequila USA, Lux Marketing, and Rouge Beauty. She has more than 15 years of experience in the wine and spirit market. Lisa has also run global HR departments, human resources, for multiple tech companies. Oh my God, she was an HR person? That's hilarious. For Tequila SUED, she oversees all processes for experiential marketing campaigns across a wide variety of platforms. Now, in the warnings of this company, because you have to put like all of the possible things that could go wrong with a company, they say that they have one manufacturer in Mexico, that if something happens to that manufacturer, the company could be seriously impacted by it negatively. And it also goes on to say that the packaging, they may have one or more suppliers, that if anything happens to the packaging companies that they're using, that those also could damage negatively the company. So it's just really funny. It's just none of it is really anything that they're doing themselves. Now, it has all of their financials and who gave the company loans in the past. So the first person is a promissory note from Jared T. and Renee Starling for $87,169.40. That's how much is outstanding, the amount they owe. And the maturity date of that promissory note is August 15th, 2019. And then there's caveats that it can be extended, or they can pay, a penalty on the debt if they don't pay it on time. The next one is Ken A. Murdoch, a promissory note for $40,000. And the maturity date of that note is January 1st, 2026. And if it isn't paid, he again gets like a penalty. They reconfirm that John Barlow and Lisa Barlow own the company 50-50, and the company's average monthly burn rate, at least at this time period of 2018, was roughly $1,400 per month, which is nothing. The problem looks like when you look at the balance statement and statement of income for 2018, that Lisa's issue is that her costs of goods sold are so high that when she does her advertising and promotion, which in 2018 was almost $26,000, and she pays outside services, which I don't know what that is, but it's another like $14,000 for the year. And then all these other miscellaneous things like travel and, trying to entertain. There's, the company is losing money. Now, they do like a marketing presentation at the end, and it shows that they've done $400,000 in sales since launching in 2017. Although, after you see them conducting business, they're losing money. So I don't know, that's kind of a weird thing to highlight. And that they've sold 2,400 cases of Tequila SUED. Maybe Vida Tequila has made them more money. And so they're using Vida Tequila to subsidize a little of it. I do see a shareholder contribution of about $28,000, which means Lisa and John probably put that into Tequila SUED, and maybe they pulled that from Vida Tequila, the profit from that, because I don't have the figures for Vida in here. The big difference between their products seems to be not aged 11 months, and aged 24 months. They say that the use of proceeds of the money that they're raising, if they get the low amount of $25,000, will only be used for a small amount of inventory and then promotional tasting events. But if they get the bigger amount of $107,000, they're going to buy a lot more inventory and contribute most of the rest of the money to marketing. So she must have been like dying for the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City to happen where she could promote Vida Tequila, because obviously, what are they missing? They're missing backing for inventory, and they're missing marketing, which at this moment in time, at least in 2018, she's struggling to get the word out there about her tequila brands. Now, I guess my big eureka moment here is, how is she making the money that supposedly she's making on the show? Because if Vida Tequila is, unless Vida Tequila is like a bang it out of the park brand for her, which maybe it is, and I'm missing something. I mean, SUED Tequila and her Lux marketing company isn't going to be making that, anywhere near a $5 million net worth. So I'm really curious about this. I'm like, it seems like her SUED Tequila is actually in the negative. It has loans against it. And then it has, they just did this other raise. I don't know how much they made in this raise I just took you through. But I mean, there's no money in that company. So that leaves Vida and Lux Marketing, and I just don't know, and this Rouge Cosmetics, which I've never heard of. So the only thing I could think of is that Vida's a lot more successful than I'm aware of. But when I looked, they're just selling through, again, that Deutsch family relationship, the distributor, Deutsch Family's relationship with Total Wine. So, I mean, how can that one be such a bigger winner? Now, maybe since the show has aired, it's helped a lot. And maybe she got a lot more brand sales from that. But I'm still not seeing a $5 million net worth. So I'm very confused by this. And so I don't know. You guys have to tell me what you think, okay? One more thing I wanted to mention about Lisa was that I heard from Andrew, although I don't want to kill his thunder because I am going to have him on the show, that he found out some gossip about Lisa Barlow. And some of it has to do with the fact that although she's saying that she's this hardcore Mormon on The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, season 1 and 2, she's actually not. And that she hasn't been paying her Mormon dues for a long time. And there's some gossip around her not being that involved in the Mormon church anymore. And that, I don't know if they kicked her out because of that or what, because he hasn't told me the gossip yet. I was waiting to have him on the show. And I don't want to ruin his thunder. So that's just a little insight into the episode that might come up in a week or two. So that was a rough cut of a show. So I hope you could bear with me. It was not as clean as my usual show. All right, I hope you liked it. Feel free to ask questions in the comments. I'll do my best to answer. Big kiss, like, subscribe, and hit the notification button.